The proposal to ban non-disclosure agreements during lawmaking negotiations has officially been written into a bill at the state capitol. The proposal is the result of our reporting on the use of NDAs in the making of California's new fast food labor law.
KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala broke that story. She's been on it from the get-go. She's here now with some new information on exactly what the new proposal would do, and there's already some uncertainty here.
Yeah, there's already uncertainty. There's already opposition. We will get into that momentarily. Following our reporting last month on all of this, Republican Assemblyman Vince Fong vowed to put together a proposed state law prohibiting the use of non-disclosure agreements in these legislative negotiations. Now, the bill was officially put into writing last night, and here is specifically what it would do. So AB 2654 would prohibit lawmakers, lobbyists, and other government employees from signing, requesting, or drafting NDAs during legislative negotiations. This would update the Political Reform Act of 1974, and a violation of it would be a misdemeanor. This would require a 2/3 vote from the legislature in order to pass, as well as the governor's approval. Now, as we first reported, the powerful labor lobbying group, the Service Employees International Union, directed the fast food industry to sign these NDAs during the negotiations of California's fast food labor law last year. Now, that law raised the minimum wage for fast food workers to $20 an hour, and it also created a new state council to set future pay raises and working conditions for those workers. Now, we learned NDAs were used as we tried to understand a strange carve-out in that law, which exempted major chains that bake and sell their own bread as a standalone menu item. Now, sources told us that exemption was pushed by Governor Gavin Newsom's office with the influence of one of his billionaire donors who is also a Panera franchisee. Now, Newsom's office said the law does not apply to Panera, but has not said who exactly that exemption is for. Now, Assemblyman Vince Fong says this bill is key to prevent the secrecy that has surrounded that fast food labor law.
We need to eliminate the use of NDAs when it comes to the legislative process. The public deserves transparency. When bills are being drafted, legislators and the public need to know how those provisions were drafted, what was behind it, who's asking for it. Those are basic questions that not only the public deserves to know, but for us as we make policy.
Governor Gavin Newsom's office has said it did not sign or direct anyone to sign NDAs in the making of the fast food labor law. The SEIU has admitted to using NDAs in high-stakes negotiations. The group said in a statement, in part, it is reviewing the law right now. We'll have so much more on what they have to say tonight at 6. Plus, we'll explain who is immediately coming out against this law. We can tell you right now it's the California Chamber of Commerce. We will explain their position on all of this as it relates to the protection of business information. But yeah, more at 6 on that.
I think a lot of people just want more transparency when it comes to lawmaking. So, right. I mean, we've got here this, it's written, the bill's written, and when's it going to get its first hearing?
So that is the question, not only when, but if. So laws like this face a key deadline next week, or proposed laws, I should say, they face a key deadline next week to pass out of its first policy committee. Now, the first policy committee that would hear this is the Assembly's Committee on Governmental Organization, but that group does not have a meeting scheduled next week. We've reached out to Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas, who said earlier this year all bills would get a hearing, but he will not comment on any of this, not even the bill, not whether it's getting a hearing, nothing.